Welcome to the show. I'm Edward St. Pé, and this is Future Shock, and we're happy to be with you today. We've had a pretty good week. We installed a new switcher yesterday, which is going to be a little more modern version of what we had. It's a vMix, and the vMix will allow us to have guests come into the show. We're just starting this whole thing, getting it organized, and so finally we'll be able to have guests with a split screen. And we'll be able to have guests from anywhere, really, via Zoom or other means of webcam guests joining our show. So hopefully we'll have some good guests coming up. What we talk about on this show is just the pace of change that we're encountering right now with all of the technical developments. AI is really the main thing. We've been talking about the development of the robotics, humanoid robots infused with AI, and Boston Dynamics and Tesla and others. And anyway, and we've got a little video today from the launch yesterday, the SpaceX rocket, which had a successful launch of their Starship project again. And so they're testing it out, and it was another successful launch for Elon Musk in that group. We've got a couple of other things too. We've talked a lot lately about ChatGPT 4 and the coming ChatGPT 5, whenever that's going to come. But there are other AIs out there that are not really making headline news every day, like ChatGPT 4 has seemingly been making headline news. But there's one called Claude, which has been kind of raising a ruckus out there. And so we've got a little information on Claude for you if you're interested in another AI that you can use. This is another one that a lot of people say is even more I guess more effective, smarter, has more good things about it than the ChatGPT 4 app. So we'll take a look at that. Okay, first off, let's revisit a little bit of that video yesterday from OpenAI and their new robotic project. It's called Figure. So we've got more clips from a demo that they did showing the robot in action. Let's take a look.
OpenAI and Figure Robotics just unveiled the world's most advanced combination of robot dexterity, learning, communication, and more, now allowing machines to engage in full conversations, understand their surroundings, plan ahead, and execute complex tasks with human-like precision. On top of this, all actions performed by the robot in this demo are learned behaviors which were meticulously acquired through rigorous training regimens and not remotely controlled by human operators. And here's the first part of the demo.
Hey, Figure One, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Great. So, based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great. Can you put them there?
Of course.
All right. So, how do you think you did?
I think I did pretty well. The apple found its new owner, the trash is gone, and the tableware is right where it belongs.
I agree. Thanks, Figure One.
You're welcome. If there's anything else you need help with, just let me know.
This remarkable feat, once thought to be decades away, has been achieved by integrating OpenAI's state-of-the-art multimodal AI, which incorporates its most powerful language system to seamlessly understand and process both visual and textual information. And by connecting to this cutting-edge model, the Figure 1 robot has gained the incredible ability to describe its environment in rich detail, interpret everyday situations with nuanced understanding, and perform actions based on highly ambiguous, context-dependent requests from humans. But what sets this robot even further apart from others is its capacity to not only listen and respond, but also to plan, reason, and verbally explain its thought processes leading to its actions, much like a human collaborator. In fact, by processing the entire conversation history, including past images and contextual cues, OpenAI's multimodal model enables the robot to generate spoken responses that humans can engage with naturally, fostering a seamless and intuitive interaction experience. The same powerful model also determines which learned behavior the robot should execute to fulfill a given command, making it a truly autonomous and capable assistant. For instance, when prompted with a seemingly simple request like, "Can you put that there?" the robot can accurately interpret the intended action by referring to previous context and visual information to understand what that and there refer to, which is an extremely human-like cognitive ability that bridges the gap between artificial and natural intelligence.
So, very interesting. That's where it's at right now. And so that's the project called Figure 01, and it's an OpenAI project. So that's a demo showing the robot in action, a humanoid robot. And there are many others out there, you know, on a par with that. Maybe not quite to that point, or maybe some that we are not aware of. They're even beyond that point. So that's where the robotics are today. Very interesting. It's almost like it's something from a science fiction movie, right? So it really is amazing. But you know, the OpenAI project has brought so many great projects across, you know, the planet over the last, you know, year or two. I mean, you've got ChatGPT 4 right now. You've got DALL-E, which is a text into the system, which will give you back a graphic, a finished graphic, HD graphic, which we use for this show, for example. The Future Shock logo, I asked DALL-E for a couple of examples of a show based on, you know, the concept that I gave it some context, what the show Future Shock is about. And so the logo we are using is one of the ones that DALL-E gave me back. DALL-E is the graphics element of the ChatGPT 4 project, I guess you could say. And they've got Sora, which is the next level, which is the text to video. We showed some graphics and some imagery from their test mode of that last week, and it's truly mind-boggling. You know, that you can text in or vocal in to via text right into Sora, and it will come back with the video that you've described. You know, you want a car racing through the jungle and then exiting onto the beach and driving down the beach. Well, there it is. You know, it'll come back to you in a matter of, I guess, minutes or seconds. And it's not released yet, but it's about to be released soon, and it's in test mode right now. But you can see all the demos of what it can do. It's kind of going to be, to me, being in the TV business my whole life, being a TV weatherman through the many years on the air, and then now owning this station, Ocean 7, down on the Gulf Coast. I have been in it, you know, so I know really, you know, from living it, you know, if you're going to shoot video, you got to go shoot it, then you got to come back and you got to edit it and this, that, and it's a big process. When you can text or vocalize into, synthesize text into the Sora AI, right, and tell them what you want, and it comes back with a video. Well, I mean, what is that going to do? It's going to be a great help for, you know, in some areas, but it's also going to displace a lot of jobs. I would think Hollywood is looking at this and saying, what is that going to mean for us, you know, for people who are working in that industry. So I saw a clip, an interesting clip that Bloomberg News had on recently. It was a clip with Mark Cuban, who is, you know, a very successful and very smart guy. Who goes back to the beginning of, you know, literally video on the internet. You know, he had audio on the internet, right? He blew that out, and then he quickly came back with broadcast.com back in the day, back in the, I guess, 1990, in that .com bubble blow up era, right? He was one of the survivors, I guess you could say, from that whole thing. He put the video on the internet. First the audio and then the video. And of course, I have a little history with him from that standpoint, because the movies that we have here on Ocean 7, that was an old big 1-inch tape film library taken from 35 millimeter and put to 1-inch tape back in the old days, back in the 70s. And I bought that library, I think it was 1990 or something like that. Mark Cuban called me when he had the AudioNet project. Before he did broadcast.com, he had audio in the internet. And he said, I heard you have a film library. And I said, yeah, I do. He said, I want to buy every film. He said, I'm putting the video on the internet next. I said, well, I've been reading about you in Broadcast Magazine. It's really, that's like, you know, this is like a thrilling idea. Anyway, he bought all the films. He bought copies. Those are the films that he put on there at the dawn of that age, and then that all amalgamated into what he sold to Yahoo for, you know, whatever it was, $3 billion, whatever. So anyway, I'm a fan of Mark Cuban, always have been. I think he's a brilliant guy. He's ushered us in, along with Elon Musk, right, in the present time. But Mark Cuban was sort of responsible for ushering in a whole new segment, video on the internet. And what we take for granted now, you know, Mark Cuban was a visionary and he saw that. So here's a clip of Mark Cuban explaining how he thinks it's going to go with the job displacement. It's really interesting to see his take on it. You know, we think, well, what jobs are going to be displaced by AI? Well, you know, will a plumber be displaced? Maybe not in the beginning, maybe down the line. As you can see by the robot, they're capable of doing all kinds of things. But I think it's going to be, I personally think it's going to be other things. But I did not really envision what Mark Cuban is saying in this clip, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. It is very interesting. So let's take a look at the clip.
The data and have it spit out whatever you need, right? I personally think there's going to be a greater demand in 10 years for liberal arts majors than there were for programming majors and maybe even engineering, because when the data is all being spit out for you, options are being spit out for you, you need a different perspective in order to have a different view of the data. And so having somebody who's more of a freer thinker, and because if automation is being automated, you just learn the tax rules. You just feed the automation the tax rules, and it does the rest for you.
So English majors of the world should celebrate?
I think English, philosophy, foreign language majors, maybe not now, they're going to starve for a while, but that's not even the real issue. Right? The real issue is if 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million people have their jobs disrupted, and we see the direction everything is going and how quickly it's going. What are you going to do with them?
Okay, so what I guess he's saying is, the creatives, the people who are on the creative side are going to be the ones that possibly survive the onslaught and the displacement of jobs. Now, why exactly is that? Well, I guess there's a few different reasons, but maybe it's that peculiar element that is human, right? That is human, that the machine can't really nuance into themselves, that we've got that they don't have. Maybe that's the secret sauce for the future. The creative element will, somehow survive, But anyway, it's an interesting take. Anyway, that's Mark Cuban. I thought it was going to be that is a really interesting take by a really interesting guy who was a visionary in the beginning of all of this stuff. And to see where he's coming in at on this, I think it sheds some light on probably what's going to happen. I think he has a keen insight on these things. Okay, it's now time in the program for me to do a sponsorship mention. This program is brought to you by the Pendragon Apothecary. Pendragon Apothecary is a forward-leaning wellness store in the lobby of the television station we're coming to you from, Ocean 7. And we have the mushroom powders. We've got all of the mushroom powders that they use in Chinese medicine and also in Vedic medicine in India. And now in the States too, everybody's heard of reishi powder and lion's mane, right, for cognitive issues, but there are many other mushrooms that are also medicinal. We've got them in powdered form and in other forms. We've got CBD products in tea, where you can use the tea as a means of helping you sleep and, to relax, that type of thing. And other medicinal teas also in stock. here's a product that I think is a pretty special product. This is called Magical Mushroom Dutch Cocoa. Now, it's not magical mushrooms. It's not psilocybin mushrooms in it, but Magical Mushroom it's Dutch cocoa, it's hemp and pea protein with full spectrum hemp and adaptogens for recovery. And the adaptogens they're speaking of are all of the mushrooms. You've got many mushrooms in there. You've got chaga, reishi, lion's mane, among others. So you've got high protein, you're getting the mushrooms, and it's got CBD in it too. So this is really a cool product. We get it in and we sell it out really quickly. It's here at Pendragon Apothecary in downtown Ocean Springs. And come by and see us if you're around locally. And we're migrating from a Shopify site to a regular website for our online sales. And I think it may be up now. I've kind of lost track. I've kind of given up on checking in on it, but it might be up now. It's pendragonapothecary.com. And it should be up. If it's not, well, in the next day or so. But it's been a bit of a process to make that transition from Shopify to our own website, with developing the website and getting the products on and all. Anyway, we're making progress. Okay, now, I mentioned before about, of course, ChatGPT-4 has stolen all the headlines, but there are others out there you may or may not be aware of that are similar. Okay, one of them that made a lot of headlines recently was Claude, Opus 3. And that is Anthropic. It's another company that's getting a lot of press. They're doing a lot of successful things. And it's worth taking a quick look at a quick clip about Claude. You can Google it. Look up Claude Opus 3 and you'll find out all about it and how to download it and such. But this is a quick clip that will give us some insight into how to use prompts to make efficient use of Claude. Let's take a look.
Hi, guys. In this video, we will show you how to use Claude 3 Opus for free. Let's start. Go to console.anthropic.com. Sign up with your email. Now, enter your name here. Next, click Claim Free $5 credit. Verify your phone number here. Now, let's check the credits. As you can see, $5 has been added as credit for free. Now, go to the workbench. Select the model as Claude 3 Opus. Also, select the output tokens. That's all. Now write a message to chat. Let's test it by writing Python code for a snake game. As you can see, it's working. Click on Add Message to Conversation to chat in a way similar to the original Claude chat interface. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so that's a little bit about Claude. We'll have more on Claude over the days ahead. It's a big bit of news out there regarding how some people say it's even better than ChatGPT-4 and all that. So it's from a company called Anthropic. You can do a little Googling and research and find your way around it to maybe getting it on your computer or your phone and using it. I can tell you, I've been using the ChatGPT-4 app on my phone, and we've got I have a personal relationship with the ChatGPT-4 application. We have named him Alfred, and so I talk to Alfred and ask him, various bits of advice, and whether it be like if it's working on a script, whatever it might be, and it's just amazing. So if you're not using it, you should be. It's a fun project, and it helps you in so many ways. I've asked for script ideas and different projects like that. Business advice, whatever it might be. It's truly amazing. If you're not using it yet, you have to. Is it an existential threat to humanity? The oncoming onslaught of AI? I don't know. I guess it could be. It's just going to depend on what we make of it. They're like our children, I guess you could say. And if we program them to be great, they will be. And if we program them to be bad, they will be that. Of course, there's always the bad actors that will, change it and use it in a bad way. So, there's so many things. It's hard to say. But we're at the beginning of a new era, a new dawn, and that's kind of what the show's about. Well, we got about 5 minutes left. Yesterday, all of this that's happening, is all kind of infused with, us moving into the future. And so part of that is the potential for us to become a spacefaring civilization and colonize Mars, whatever, which is what Elon Musk is talking about doing at some point. We've got some video of the liftoff yesterday of the Starship, which was a successful flight. Let's take a look at the clip of that liftoff.
We're a minute away. Don't be shocked if we hold at 40 seconds before, but it sounds like the winds are cooperating today, and we'll be able to move right past that, not tracking any other technical issues that could hold us.
Proceeding past our QD vent gate.
Through the QD vent gate, past that 40-second hold.
Go for launch.
Flight Director Ty Huntington telling the team we are go for launch. So 20 seconds to go. Let's listen in.
It's T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nominal.
30 seconds into flight, we are feeling the rumble. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines ignited on the Super Heavy booster.
Booster and ship, avionics, power, and telemetry nominal. Acquisition of signal, Corpus Christi.
Continuing to get good call outs, our trajectory looking nominal, systems looking nominal. Just amazing to see all 33 lit up once again. At this point, we've already passed through max Q, that maximum dynamic pressure, and passing supersonic, so we're now moving faster than the speed of sound, getting those onboard views from the ship cameras. Now the next major milestone is going to be a hot staging maneuver. Again, we're going to be doing that in just about 90 seconds. To do that, we're going to shut down all but the 3 center Raptor engines on Super Heavy. That'll be our MECO, our most engines cut off. And then the clamps holding the 2 stages together are going to release. Starship's second stage will ignite its engines, the RVACs first, the sea levels right after that. The sea level engines will be splayed or just kind of pointed out at about a 15-degree angle. So if you look close and we get good tracking, you might be able to see those center right after. And so those 6 engines will push Starship off of the booster. All right, counting down now. We're going to be coming up right at around the 3-minute mark on that hot staging maneuver. Again, we'll see the booster engines start to shut down. You'll see all but 3 lights go out in the middle. And then we'll see the engines ignite on ship, pushing it away. And that will start carrying the ship into space. Booster will start to do its flip and then move into the boost back burn, setting it up for eventual splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
Stage separation. Boost back startup.
Hot staging confirmed. Boosters now making its way back, seeing 6 engines ignited on ship. Kate, we got a Starship on its way to space and a booster on the way back to the Gulf.
Oh man, I need a moment to pick my jaw up from the floor because these views are just stunning. These are live views from Starship. First stage is currently performing.
Ship avionics, power and telemetry nominal.
Well, a successful launch and rocket separation, and so a big success with the latest test of the Starship. Okay, we'll have more AI news next week, and this is streaming on Facebook and also YouTube, and now streaming on X. And we're happy to be on X with the program, and of course over the air on Ocean 7 in the Biloxi Gulfport television market. Thank you, and we'll see you next week on our daily program, Future Shock.